Hello and
Hello.
welcome. I wasn't quite ready for that.
I wasn't
start.
either, but that's all right. We're starting. Hello.
Who's running this thing?
Yeah.
All right, we're ready. We're here. We're going. Welcome to episode 12
Of As We Art.
As We Art, episode 12. I'm Monica.
I'm Candace.
We're really glad you're here. This is a podcast and a YouTube channel. And what are we talking about?
We talk about what art we're making this week and what's inspiring us, and we want to hear from you. What are you creating? What's inspiring you?
We say that every week, and we want to hear from you. We are not kidding.
Right.
Hearing from you out there in listener land is so awesome.
Ignore me adjusting my headphones. I apologize.
All going to ignore you adjusting. But yeah, hearing about what different types of art people are working on, love it.
Yep.
Listening to or hearing about, reading comments about what's inspiring you right now. We love it.
Yeah.
And the questions that have come in, we kind of opened ourselves up here. We're like, hey, if you guys have any questions, we'll answer them. And we've had some awesome questions. So at the end of this episode, we'll be answering one of the questions that came in. So thank you for that. Keep them coming. We love to read them.
Absolutely. And thank you for building a community with us. Like Monica said, we love hearing from all of you, and we love talking about what everyone's creating and doing to stay sane. So thank you.
Yes. So welcome. Let's talk art.
Ooh.
What did we work
on As We Art.
As We Art.
Do you want to go first, Monica, or you want me to go first?
Do we have an order? Are we taking turns?
I feel like the order changes every week, and it's just a free-for-all, and I like it.
It's a free-for-all, and I don't want to be...
It's the only area of my life where I welcome chaos.
I know. This podcast is the only area?
I won't even say the full podcast, just choosing who goes first.
Okay. Yeah, we're not keeping track. We don't flip a coin. We have no script. I will go first. Why not? So I have a finished piece to show you, which I'm...
Yes. Double clapping.
We're double... Oh, God. Double clapping.
Bringing it back.
We're making it a thing. If you haven't followed along or watched or listened to previous episodes, if you have time, go back and do, because we reference the references and the internal references and the inside jokes from the jokes that
We're like
are
comedians. We throw it back,
Throw it back. Yeah. And I think we mentioned this. If you're listening on the podcast, that's awesome. If you're watching on YouTube, that's great. But either way, follow us on Instagram at As We Art Podcast, because we're going to be showing you some photographs of some of the stuff we're talking about that you're going to, it will make sense if you see the photo. If you're just listening, you'll be like, I want to see the art they did, but you won't be able to if you're just listening.
We also share listener art that you folks have completed and sent to us. And, we'll share what you've been sharing with us. So
send those pictures. We love to see it. Okay. So I am now going to hold up a finished stained glass piece in the form of a white panel. I figured I would bring this to show the finished piece, because glass, it's kind of hard to see with all these background colors behind it. This happens to be transparent glass. Sometimes I use opaque, but this one is, let me just hold up the white.
Here, I can hold the white.
It's not the right size exactly, but hopefully this is making sense. So I have a finished panel full of colors. I've been showing the progress pictures, the cut glass that got all scattered. And when it was all, what did I show last week? When it was all
Ground.
And
started foiling, I believe.
So I started foiling, I soldered, I framed, I polished, it's done. And this mirror, I hope this mirror looks like a person's profile, and whatever's going in or out of the brain is all different color glass. And I'm really pleased with it. I'll get rid of the white. So I'm going to be entering it into a gallery exhibit. It's a juried show. The theme is Out of This World, and I will be entering 2 panels. The due date is next week, and I'm working on the other one. And we'll see if it gets selected and maybe even sold, and if not, which is awesome. And either way, afterwards, if it doesn't sell at the gallery, I will put it on our Etsy.
Nice.
Glass over Teakettle.
It's a good glass choice. I like the mirror for the face, and
thank y'all.
It looks very nice. Very well done.
I'm trying to show some enthusiasm at a finished project. I have a little bit of an issue. I don't know if any other artists have this issue, but this is hard to explain. It's emotional. I have an anticlimactic response to when I'm finished with an art project. I would think maybe some humans, when they work towards something and they have a finish line and they get across the finish line, they might have some elation or some pride or some celebration moment. I am almost like embarrassed at a finished project. Not embarrassed, that's not the right word, but I'm not willing to show it off really, and I just want to go to my next project because my elation and excitement actually comes from the newness of a new project and the process of doing a new project. So I'll weave this into my inspiration this week when we get to that portion of the show. But I am glad this project is done. I am happy with the result. It was a lot of work to do it, but I need to like pause and acknowledge that a little bit better because I'm very proud of my artwork. I just don't dwell on it. I want to move on to the next project.
You're more inspired by the process than you are.
I really am. It's this wave of emotion. What is that? A dopamine? Some brain chemical.
Dopamine release. But I feel like a lot of people would get that from the final product.
Not me.
Maybe you have an adverse reaction to like praise when people are like, ooh,
for sure. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things I could hire that I could bring up with my therapist. I almost said hired a therapist. I mean, adversity to praise. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. I want to just move on to the next thing. But I am happy with this piece of artwork and I'm glad it's done and I'm excited to move on to the next one. But this podcast actually is going to force me to stop and take a moment when I do finish a piece because that's why we're doing this to hold ourselves accountable of what art we're working on. But it's not just about the process. It's about finished work as well, if you ever get to that point. No pressure. We acknowledge any artist and whatever their process is, wherever they are in that. It might take years to finish something, but something.
I like it. Very Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Something.
So yes, there's my finished piece of art and I'm happy with how it turned out.
Nice. And you said we'll acknowledge it later in the podcast, but my reaction to the finished product is very different. So we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay. First, we want to see what you worked on, Candace.
Yes. What I worked on this week was my second, which was going to be just my second layer on this lino cut I've been working on of Infinite Pie. But I decided it's also my final layer.
Two colors.
Yes, I was going to do 3 colors, but I decided that I wanted to make it a bit more illustrative in like almost like a pop art way where it's kind of more bold and not so much like I don't even know what the word for it would be. I didn't want it to have as much depth.
Okay.
With more color. So I really like the finished product, which is hard for me to say out loud, but I do.
It's awesome. Tell the folks what you're holding up in case they're just listening.
I am holding up a lino cut print of a bunch of concentric circles. Is that right? Bunch of circles.
Or portions of circles.
Yes.
Love it.
I hid my Grumpy Ghost logo in it, which is fun and something I think I'll do in future projects. So
that's great. And how many of these prints did you make?
I ended up completing all 6. They all turned out, which is
all of them
mind-blowing for me.
I'll take a picture of all 6.
It was my first whack at it.
At what?
At doing reduction printing, where you take some away in between prints. So you can't like go back and fix anything.
Okay.
So usually you don't get all the prints to work out because inevitably something happens. Something doesn't print correctly or you take away too much of something and then you're screwed. but this worked out.
You show the people.
So,
I'll be careful. I know it's still
let
drying.
me show the people.
Show the people. Absolutely gorgeous. I know it's still drying. I love that you put the ghost in there, the grumpy ghost. And if you don't know the theme of infinite pie or what we're referring to, go back to episode 9.
I think.
Because the infinite pie has become it's an important message to all artists out there. So we won't recap right now, but go back and listen to episode 9 if you're curious, because it's going to be a recurring theme for us. I love this.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you.
job. So
It
I'll
was a
throw
lot of
pictures
fun.
up on Instagram. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just said it was a lot of fun. I really enjoy the process, which is usually not my reaction. So, are we gonna?
Wait. You enjoy the process, but that's usually
I
not.
usually enjoy the final product more than the process.
See, I'm the exact opposite.
Yeah, Monica said, you're almost upset when it's finished because you enjoy the process, and me, I'm like, that's it, my life's work. I did it.
I'm not tired of it by the end. I've looked at it a lot. I've dealt with it a lot. It's not that. When I'm done with the art, I just, that my emotions go down, not from it, oh, I'm sad it's over. Not that. It's not like when I finish reading a book where I'm really sad that it's over. I want the page, depending on the book, I want the pages to continue. But with the piece of art, I'm like, okay, that'll do. Now my levels of emotion go way up again for a new project. That's just how I've been in life. But your emotions go up at the end, excited when it's done and you can see your work. Okay.
It is short-lived, the excitement about it being complete. Because for me, I'm like, oh, that means I got to figure out something new to do.
See, you say you gotta. I say I get to.
Exactly.
That's so funny. I can't wait to start something new. And Candace is like, oh, I got to start something new.
The most difficult part of the creative process for me is always getting started. So,
Well, yeah, exact opposite for me. And I think more people are like you.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
I'd
think
be
so.
curious. Let us know how you are with the creative process. Is getting started difficult for you, or is
Jumping
ending
in.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Is it a sad moment?
That's so funny. And we talked last week how different we are, and people chimed in about what, and all of the people that chimed in were Team Candace, where they really, really like their routine, familiar comfort zone, where there wasn't anyone else out there who commented that said, oh, I'm like Monica, where I get invigorated by it not being familiar, by something new, by breaking the routine. So I'm curious about artists out there. Do you get excited about jumping into a new project? Is that process, that initiation better than the end result? Or is the end result really what gives you that hit of like, yeah. So yeah, it's fine. It's so interesting to have two different approaches. Thank God we're not the same.
I know. Yep. We'd have a lot of things lying around the house unfinished, I think, if we were the same.
Wait. If we were both like who?
If we were both like you, we would have a lot of started but not completed projects.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that is fair. But I'm going to go out and say if we were both like me, if we were both like you,
nothing would ever get started.
I was going to say fewer projects would get started.
Yep. I'll take responsibility for that.
Okay,
100%. Very few
yeah.
things would get accomplished here because they'd never get started if we were both like me. And very few things would get accomplished because there were too many things going on at once if we were both like you.
That's very fair.
We balance each other out.
And then just to be totally honest, this podcast has made us more likely to finish said started projects at even a faster rate because
for me, it's this podcast has made me more likely to start a project.
That's so funny.
Finishing's not an issue for me.
That's right. Oh my God. See how we're like using this podcast as marriage counseling?
Yes. No, we don't need marriage counseling. We need art counseling.
Yeah, we just art. We're like, I'm going to go do some art. I'm going to go do some art. It's a really good outlet. We want to know what you're working on. We'd love to know your process. If you're figuring out how you're different than other friends, artists, spouses in your life, whoever's in your life, like, are you different from your siblings, your friends, your colleagues in that way? We'd love to know.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Ooh, inspiración. What do you think is your inspiration?
Oh.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
My inspiration this week is, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Amy Poehler has a podcast called Good Hang with Amy Poehler. And she brings on a guest and interviews them each week. And they are all celebrities. But it's inspirational for me, A, because it's just a total escape from the insanity. And it's very uplifting. Like, they talk about real world things, but that are not current events, if that makes sense. So they talk about people's routine, or how they approach things, or what's your sleep schedule like, or things like that. So that's really inspirational for me, but it's also inspirational because it just shows that, like, we're all humans. We all have imposter syndrome. It doesn't matter how successful you are, or, famous people are just normal people that happened to be recognized for their craft. So we're all just normal people out here fucking winging it. We're all winging it. Even those of us like me who like to pretend like we're in control, we're all winging it. So,
well, we are all winging it. Humans are, for sure, all of us are winging it. But I'm glad you mentioned that podcast. It's a good one. We've become a little more particular about how we spend our time watching things.
Consuming, yeah.
Because we're busy with art and busy with other things. But when we turn that one on, and actually we do that one on with the visual. It's not,
we
us,
watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, it can be a podcast. You can listen to the interview. She interviews an artist every week. The artists are generally actors, comedians. I don't know if she said a musician, but people of that world. But it is interesting to hear a break in the types of interview questions. It's not, they might not be promoting their latest movie.
Right. It's like, not like, tell us about your current project.
Yeah.
It's like, tell me about how you ended up doing something.
But yeah, it is positive. I think she named it well, the Good Hang, or just Good Hang.
Yep.
And she won, what are they?
The first Golden Globe for podcasts. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with Amy Poehler's podcast, Good Hang, I'm glad you mentioned that as inspo, because that is just to like see other people and hear other people, their process, their behind the scenes, how they interact with other artists, how they interact with spouses, how they interact with their medium, or what things they're trying. A lot of them try things that are outside of their comfort zone, and that is inspiring.
Yep.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, it's a fun one to watch. We definitely recommend it. So.
Yeah. I wish I had given this more thought. We do this podcast without really thinking. We're not planning ahead. We don't know what we're going to say.
If you haven't guessed that already.
But my inspiration this week, I think, is about I'm making an effort to try to stay more present. This is really hard for me. And I'm not on some regimen of like being more mindful. I can't stick to any regimen, but is that the right, how you say that? Regimen?
I don't know. I have no idea.
It's not regime.
It all sounds terrible right now.
It sounds bad.
Regicide, which is like murdering a king or something, right?
Oh, God.
Or a queen, I guess.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'm trying to be more regicidal. Really? With Kings out, no King's Day. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to this, my inspiration. I am trying to be more present, which is a challenge for me in not like thinking, how is this, whatever I'm doing in the moment, how is it going to affect the future? Whether it's I'm working on this art project, what's it going to look like? Or, we're having a dance party every morning. I'm doing it because it feels good in the moment, not for any other reason. So I'm trying to be more present. One thing I forgot to mention about my art this week that's actually really big deal is if you listened last week, where one of the short stories I submitted to a contest was not selected to move forward,
Or avoiding the word rejected.
Rejected. It was rejected. I've started. I've written 8 pages already of turning it into a play because I think it will make a really good, interesting setting. A play, 2 women in a prison cell having a conversation, and I'm able to weave in all sorts of topics that are really important to me into this play. But I'm doing it in the present moment. I'm really, truly trying to just stay present on the page. Phone is nowhere near me. I have no other obligations. I'm writing as though it is a job, and I have 2 hours. I'm slicing this bit of time for the day, and I'm doing nothing else. And it's helping me. Writing out a schedule for art, actually schedule. I'm Gen X. I have to write everything down like in a planner with a pen or a pencil.
That is true. Sometimes it's in a gigantic, desk size
calendar.
Planner
I have
calendar.
a desk calendar for every month.
Yeah.
I have a monthly calendar on my wall, and I have the week, a week at a glance that I write in pencil. I am so reliant upon that to stay focused and to know, okay, I'm now writing.
Yep.
I'm now in the stained glass studio. I'm now doing my 9 to 5 editing papers and things. So I have very specific chunks of time. But
This year I'll get you a blotting pad and what is that thing they used to talk into for their stenographers?
oh, like a dictaphone?
Yes.
No. I don't
Just to
need that.
match your desk calendar.
Are you making fun of my analog life?
I am making fun of your analog life that seems to have fallen out of 1963.
I love my analog life. I do. Candace does give me the big giant desk calendars
Every
year at Christmas so that I have a new one for January, and I fucking love it.
Yep.
I live by it.
You got to do what works for you.
Yes.
If analog works for you, stick with it. I'm a mixture of the two, but I tend to lean more toward digital.
Yeah, I'm the worst. So I'm so embarrassed that I'm so analog. At certain situations, I fake it. This is true. I really do this, and hopefully none of my doctors or dentists are watching. But at the reception desk after an appointment, we just had dentists this week, where they say, do you need an appointment card? I'm like, no, I got it, and I pull my phone out. This is true, and I touch it. I pretend I've never once.
You fake that you're putting it into your calendar?
Yes, and I memorize it, and I run home and I write it on my calendar. I fake putting it in my calendar. I have no idea how the calendar on my phone works. Something someone sent to me recently. I had to accept a Zoom
just take
call.
the business card and go.
I should. I had to accept.
You're putting so much effort in.
I know. I'm so embarrassed to admit this, but I've never, ever intentionally put something in my calendar. But sometimes some people email me an online meeting invite, like a Zoom invite or something, like a new client or something. And I'm like, I don't even do that. I meet my clients on Zoom. I just email them the link. I don't know how to add it to their calendar or invite them. I don't do that.
If you invite Monica via Zoom calendar link, the first word out of her mouth is going to be Candace.
Yeah. In-house tech help. But I really do. I pretend I'm using my phone in a digital way, but I am an analog woman, and I always will be.
I love it. Just take the business card. No one's judging you.
But then I don't want the paper and all that. And I know, I really do just memorize it and run home and write it in pencil on my calendar. Okay.
Nice.
Oh, that felt good to get off
better?
my chest.
Yes.
Yeah. I've never used the calendar on my phone. And it's really embarrassing because I work with some very professional clients. I look a little different when I'm on those Zoom calls. No braids and baseball hat. But I act like I know what they're talking about. And it's handwritten on my calendar. All my homework, all the homework deadlines I had when I was taking all the college classes. I just finished my degree in December. I'm so happy. But I had, and it was online. And online classes mean you're using technology. And I'm analog Gen X person here, the only one in the class. And it was so embarrassing when they were forming, ways to meet and talk and
breakout groups and
in the breakout groups. But anyway.
Well, you did great. I mean, you got your degree and you were all over the technology. So
yeah,
well done.
Anyone out there analog?
I've been in that position before though. I grew up in my 20s in a restaurant job. I wasn't using technology. I mean, jobs I got after that, I was Googling how to do those jobs because I didn't know.
Yes.
That's how I found out how to do a lot of things, like use Google Calendar or Zoom or, I mean, I had to look it up and fake it till I made it.
Yeah.
So.
And you did.
Yes.
You worked for some amazing, you have worked.
I ended up working for a tech company eventually. So.
But you were very happy that they didn't track your Google lookup. So they would have been like, how did we hire someone that had to Google this?
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
But
Candace is a fast learner, and you've been able to adapt to any software they throw at you, any platforms they throw at you. Meanwhile, I would be drowning.
You would do great. You would do what I did and Google it. And I've had some things thrown at me that I was like, nope, can't do it. So that's okay.
So what about you listening? Are you nostalgic for analog world and still cling to writing things down with a pencil or pen and paper? Are you comfortable using digital for your life and appointments and calendars and things? Are you both?
I have to confess, I prefer analog for reasons. It's more difficult for me to lose something that's analog. I will forget where I saved something digital. But I also am a little bit obsessed with my own handwriting. So
You
I
have
like to
lovely
write it
handwriting.
down. Thank you.
Candace has awesome handwriting.
I write in cursive.
Yep.
My print is terrible.
Yep. Your cursive is beautiful. Our grocery list. I love it. Okay, we got a question from the audience.
Yes.
If you have a question, be sure and send it to us. I write it down so I can read it word for word.
We analog the hell out of your questions from YouTube.
This is a good one. And we knew this one ahead of time. So I know we've both prepared an answer, but we don't know what the other person's prepared.
Yes.
Like we really want this to be.
We have not conferred.
Yeah. Okay, here's the question. Band, artist, album that has grown with you through your life. Maybe you, oh shit, I can't read my own writing. Maybe you matured as their music did, or got politically more aligned with their music as you aged. So
That's a good question.
it's a very good question. We're so grateful for it.
I'm also obsessed with music.
Yeah, Candace is obsessed with music and has a lot more music range that you listen to than I do. But I had to go first on the art. Why don't you go first?
Okay, I went first on inspiration, but whatever.
I can go first.
No, it's okay. The thing that immediately came to mind with this question is a very specific album and a very specific artist.
Okay.
It was Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill.
How old were you?
I was 10. I was in 4th grade when that album came out. Okay. So, no, I did not understand some of the lyrics, but that doesn't matter. I do now. They have grown with me. But the second I hear that, like, and the harmonica, my nostalgia brain kicks in, and I am immediately back in 4th grade wearing my first pair of Nikes. And
oh, you loved sneakers back then? You love sneakers now?
I love shoes. I love shoes and hats. So,
What were your first Nikes? First?
My very first pair of Nikes, they were black with white and red accents. And they had a Velcro tab with the Nike swoosh on it that you put over the shoelaces.
Were these high tops?
They were low tops, but they were made for football practice.
Okay.
American football practice. They weren't cleats. They were running on fake turf shoes.
I can picture these. So you're in 4th grade?
I was in 4th grade.
Listening to this album.
Yes.
Love this album. Okay.
And Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill and Joan Osborne's Relish came out around the same time, and I was obsessed with both and pretty much listened to no other albums for about a year. But Jagged Little Pill is the one that always gets me. The second I hear, do I stress you out? I don't want to get a copyright infringement on here, but just with that flat music in the back where it's almost like they put it on a different wavelength. It sounds very lo-fi, but her voice is very intense. And then all of a sudden after that first intro of the verse, then the music really kicks in and gets more hi-fi. But yeah, something about that album, it will stick with me forever. It's one of my favorites. It will always be one of my favorites. And it was at a very formative time in my life.
10 years old is. 10 years old is when I started listening to my own, like, music that I picked.
That's definitely when I started listening to, like, radio that I chose and not that my parents were listening to. Because I grew up with, like, my dad listening to a lot of music from the 50s and 60s, even though he was a teenager in the 70s. And I think it's because he had an older sister that might have been into that.
Who knows? But our parents' music choices influence us until a certain age. And then boom.
And then all of a sudden I found the grunge radio station and I was like, hello.
That's awesome. Okay, so this was, if this was 95. So I know I was in college when that album came out. It was huge. So you were 10, I was 20. That album is awesome and it has stayed with us and it's grown with us. We listen to it often.
Yeah.
And I have to have it in the order. I can't do this shuffle shit that they do now with streaming music.
Yes.
You have to listen to the album in order and start to finish. Love that album, Jagged Little Pill.
I didn't love it start to finish when I was younger. I mean, I listened to it start to finish always, but songs that I did not like as a younger kid, I love now.
Oh, see how music has grown with us as we've aged.
Never got into, like, Not the Doctor, and that's one of my favorite songs on the album now. So anyway.
That's a good one. I'm so glad you mentioned that album. I wish I had thought of that.
Such a good album. And her follow-up album, which for some reason did not get great reviews. Supposed Former Infatuation Junkie. Very good album. So I think people were they wanted the same thing. And she changed, she grew as an artist and a human.
Her albums are awesome.
Yeah.
I loved that album in 95. I was in college and then I got to see that album. This amazing concert the following summer of 96, and Radiohead opened for her.
Wow. Radiohead opened for
Alanis. And it was such a good concert, and the entire crowd was singing every song. It's just one of those, it was so good. I love that album. I'm glad you mentioned that one. So you were 10, I was 20 when that came out.
Nice.
That's interesting. You picked something for this question from when you were 10. I know this album came out that I'm about to mention in the 80s, 10 years prior. I was 10.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't,
very formative time in life.
Yes. And it's a cassette tape. And I had to listen to side one, flip it, listen to side two. I know the exact order. The first song to this day is still my favorite song.
Awesome.
Do you have any guesses on the artist? You know my favorite song.
I do know your favorite song. Red Rain by Peter Gabriel.
So my favorite song is Red Rain by Peter Gabriel. The album is called So.
Such a good album.
S-O.
But I didn't discover that album until I was in my 20s.
Oh, good.
So it's a reversal.
Okay, here we go. I was 10, 11. I got my first boombox, went to Spinnaker Records, bought that tape. It wasn't my first tape, but I bought that intentionally, listened to it on repeat. Loved every song. In Your Eyes, of course, people know that one. A really good romantic, gorgeous song. That's not a great song.
I know, but people know that song.
In Your Eyes is the one I think people know. Red Rain came out as a single, but it wasn't like as popular. But interesting about this question that we were asked about how like it's moved or aged with us or politically. There's a song at the end of side B, the second side of the tape CD album. I have the album as well now, the vinyl. We do what we're told. And there aren't a lot of lyrics to it. And as a kid, I'm like, oh yeah, we do what we're told. Like, okay, as a kid, that meant something different than what it means now. We're so fucking brainwashed as humans. And a lot of that album is about that. I mean, not all of it, but a lot of it. And so I've always admired Peter Gabriel. I like his music. I like his lyrics. But there's also a song on there that I'm going to credit with like saving me when I was a teenager. I mean, saving me at my depths of despair when I felt like everything was awful and I was going to die and the world sucked, as we do when we're teenagers. And I would turn to a very specific song on there. The only one he did on that album as a duet. He did it with Kate Bush. This song is called Don't Give Up. And again, it was released as a single, but it didn't like make huge headway like In Your Eyes did. Don't Give Up was such, my eye just happens to be watering. I'm not crying.
That's okay. It's okay if you're crying. It's okay.
No, I'm not. Don't Give Up by Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush is a phenomenal song that has grown with me and aged with me well. And I highly recommend both Jagged Little Pill and So. Both artists are awesome.
And anything by Kate Bush, another artist I didn't discover till I was in my 20s and became totally obsessed with.
Yes.
She's amazing.
She was definitely in my life. In my life, she was a friend. These albums, these singers, these people in my room as a teenager, I considered them friends. They knew me. They understood me. They're writing lyrics that made me feel a certain way. And I think those albums that are like really part of those developmental years, adolescence years, the emotional years, can really stay with you. And luckily, a really good way, like almost a way to cope, you know?
For sure.
So we love that question and we want to throw it out to the audience. Please join in this conversation. What are you working on with art or anything artistic or creative? What are you trying that's new? What are your feelings about process versus result? What is inspiring you? And certainly would love to know what music, specifically what album meant something to you as a kid that has still stayed with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I have others I could totally add to that.
I know.
I could go down a rabbit hole with that question.
I know.
So I love it. It's a great question.
I'm glad we both did the one that came to mind because I could too, but.
Yep. That was definitely, Jagged Little Pill was definitely the album that I first became obsessed with. So.
Oh, it's a good one. She changed everything. And it was shocking when it came out. That's why I asked you how old you were. Because like when that came out and she's talking about going down on someone in a theater, I'm like, did you even understand? Okay.
I just thought like it was going down, you know? I was 10. I didn't get it.
She'd go down on you in the theater. And I love the radio because radio is not a big thing anymore. But back then I would listen to that live on the radio. And for that song to be on there, I was like, oh, Scandalous. I loved it. Love that album so much. Love both of those albums.
Yep.
So we want to hear from you, whatever your thoughts are on any of these things. And we are also just really glad you're here. This conversation is going, this weekly podcast is happening because we get enthusiasm and inspiration from you out there listening and commenting. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for sharing with us. It means a lot. And we are here for you. You're here for us. And let's all just hang out.
12 episodes.
As we all art.
As we art. Honey, this is still a blank wall.
I know. I have an idea for the second abyss.
Okay.
So I will be executing that within the coming weeks.
The white wall behind me. I'm like, where's my art behind me?
Yeah.
Okay. As we art, we're here. We're glad you're here. We will see you next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks. Bye.